All right, welcome back to German with John Berlin. Yet another lesson of conjunctions. Yes. Letztes Mal haben wir gelernt der Unterschied zwischen weil und denn. Last time we learned the difference between because, like while and then. One is a direct relationship, direkte Beziehung, while, indirekte Beziehung, then. So while is when there is a direct relationship, es regnet, while der Himmel bedeckt ist. It's going to rain because the uh, sky is bedeckt, like covered. O es wird regnen, denn die Vögel sich versteckt haben. It's going to rain because the birds have hidden themselves. This is my perspective. So that's what we learned in the last lesson. Today we'll be dealing with the word thus as a conjunction when you elaborate upon your main sentence, like I think that we must go. Yes, I forgot that we had a plan. So whenever you emphasize or elaborate on your main sentence to explain further, you say thus. But then there is another word like thus, das, which we have sounds the same. So we'll try to understand in a sentence when do we use thus like a conjunction and when do we use thus like an article, or maybe if there are certain other what you call meanings of thus. Let's find out. So thus is a conjunction we learned already. Yes. Let's call it a, and it's a conjunction. Now thus, das, thus is a reference word like that is a cup. That in English is also known as das in German. Yes, it's not an article here, it's a reference word just like that. Yes, so das ist ein Auto means that is a car. So let's call this B. Yes, when we are dealing with das as a reference word. Now when you have das as an article, ich habe das Auto, I have the car. The is an article, so we'll call it das is an article. Now das is also a relative pronoun. For example, that is the car that I have lost. That I have lost. Das ist das Auto, das ich verloren habe. Auto is Neutrum. We are relating to Auto. What have I lost? Das Auto, Akkusativ, den die das. So this das is a relative pronoun meaning that, like a reference word. Das is, it's also definite pronoun. That is a BMW. I have bought that. So basically, when we emphasize upon a particular noun in terms of definite pronoun, like you could have said, das ist ein BMW, ich habe es gekauft, I've bought it. But instead of saying what s, you have used das, just to emphasize, this is the one I've bought. Yeah, so it could also be a definite article. Let's give it another alphabet. We give this D, we'll give it E. So we'll find out which one are we using, A, B, C, D, or E, right? A is for thus, conjunction, B is for thus, a reference word. C is like thus, like an article. D is like thus, a relative pronoun. And E is a definite pronoun. Okay. Ich bin sicher, dass kommt. I am sure that he comes. So I am sure, comma. Now you're elaborating upon your main sentence. And you can see the verb is in the end. So that's a signal. It should be a conjunction. That is thus. So we write thus. Option A, right? Just in the brackets so that you understand, I could write option A. Okay, sagt, dass sie verlieren. He says that they lose. Again, the verb is in the end. I'm elaborating upon the first sentence, so it will be DASS. Yes. So we'll choose the option A once again. So we could write here. Fantastic. Erzählt, there is a Z missing. Erzählt ein Urteil, das, okay, bekommt ein Urteil, that'll be better. He gets a judgment that is very hard on him. So basically, he gets a judgment that is very hard on him. So it's not that you're elaborating upon something here. You are just referring to the word ein Urteil, judgment, and you are creating a relative pronoun. So you will basically be saying, bekommt ein Urteil. What does he get? Bekommt ein Urteil, das sehr hart ausfällt. Ausfallen is like It's spelled im. It's like how could be explained? It's very hard on him, let's say. So what is hard on him? Nominative. There the das. Urteil is neutrum, so we'll say das. So this is your option of relative pronoun. We could write D. Yes, this one is D. Okay. Dash bedeutet dash Agrippa hat. That means that he has cold. So here we'll say that means, das bedeutet. Here it's the reference word. Reference word being das, so it's B, option B. And then you say that he has cold, you're elaborating. So use the conjunction das. So we'll say das. So here it's a combination of, first you use the reference word das, then you used das. So it's B and A. We could write here B, yes, comma A. Die Statistik stellt dar, dass die Bevölkerung zunimmt. Darstellen is to portray. Trennbares verb. The statistic portrays that the population increases. So basically, what does, it's an elaboration. You're elaborating on the first sentence. Yes, that what does it really show? So it's just again your conjunction thus. Yes, you could write here thus. The option A. Fantastic. Let's move forward. Let's write here R first. Fantastic. Wer meint, dass Lernen nutzlos ist, wird kaum erfolgreich. Who means the learning is of no use, will becomes rarely successful. So here we have used das Lernen. Lernen is to learn. It's used like a noun here. Remember, we could build any noun in which we capitalize a verb. So here it means who thinks the learning is nutzlos will seldom become successful. So we'll write here das Lernen. So we have used it like an article. Article means the option. So we write here the. Yes. And here the structure of the sentence could have been different. Let's just cross check. Wer meint, das Lernen ist nutzlos? That would have been an option. Yeah. Hauptsatz, Hauptsatz. Wer meint, das Lernen ist nutzlos, wird kaum erfolgreich. Hauptsatz, it's a question basically. Who means that learning is nutzlos, wird kaum erfolgreich. Genau. Okay, dann ist doch deutlich, dass Politiker tun wollen. Then it is clear that the politicians want to do that. So first we'll say elaborate on what is clear. So it's like conjunction thus to elaborate upon in my term. Yes, so we write thus. Politiker tun thus. So the second one is just a reference word. You're referring to something you don't know about, but we could write here thus tun wollen. Okay. Zigaretten ähneln Drogen, das ist vielen unklar. So cigarettes are equal to drugs. That is not clear to many. So here it's like the reference word thus. We are referring to this. We're not elaborating upon something. We're just referring to this fact. This fact is not clear to many. So thus is vielen, for many. Yes, not clear. Sie meinen, dass sie jetzt eigenständig sind. They mean that they are now independent. So basically, what do they mean? We are just elaborating. So it's the conjunction thus. So when it's a conjunction, the question is basically what you elaborate. Yeah. And that's why you use thus. Here in the question 8, when we said Zigaretten ähneln Drogen, it's not what we are elaborating, it's what we are referring to. So it could be thus, vielen unklar. Okay, coming back to number 10. Rauchen ist tödlich. Das heißt, dass man kann an Rauchen sterben. So basically, smoking is deadly. That means, now here it's this one. That means, just like the English that. So it's das heißt. And now we'll elaborate. Das man. Now here it should be elaborate and put sterben kann in the end. Right, now to write. Rauchen ist tödlich, das heißt, that means DASS, man an Rauchen sterben kann. That one can die because of smoking. Yes, so we stopped writing the digits, the letters. Let's continue doing that. Let's just go back a little. Dann ist doch deutlich, dass Politiker das tun wollen. This is a combination of A and B. Yes, so basically it's A and B. Let's write A, comma B. Okay. And sie geraten in Drogen, das ist vielen unklar, das ist B. Yes, we are just using a reference word, that. Sie meinen, dass die jetzt schon eingesetzt sind. This is A. We are just elaborating on what they mean. And the last one here we did, Rauchen ist tödlich, das heißt, dass man an Rauchen sterben kann. Das heißt ist B. And dass man an Rauchen sterben kann ist A. So we write B, A. Yes. Perfect. Okay, es ist deutlich klar, dass ein Notfall besteht. It is clear, what is clear, we'll elaborate, that there is an emergency. Ein Notfall besteht. Bestehen is to arise, yes. Besteht like to exist, yes, that emergency exists. So basically here we write elaboration, that's DAS, thus, us. DA-S, yes. Genau, conjunction, that means Option A. Dash is the evidence, dash es jetzt veraltet ist. Okay, now that is the evidence, it's like reference word, das. Dash es jetzt veraltet ist, now it has become old. That is the evidence that it has now become old. So basically we are elaborating what is the evidence. So it's just DASS. So it's like first we say B and then A. So B A. Yeah. Perfect. Move forward. Okay. Die Aussage stimmt, dass immer mehr Politiker korrupt werden. So the statement is true, stimmt, it's like true, dass immer mehr Politiker korrupt werden, that always more politicians become corrupt. So here we are just elaborating what is the statement, so it's thus. Yeah, so let's write here thus. Thus is Option A, so let's write Option A. Yes. Sie wissen, dass die jungen Leute in der Zukunft zur Abstimmung kommen. So they know that the young people in the future will come to vote. Will go to vote. So basically, what do they know? They're elaborating. Thus, conjunction is thus. Yes. Fantastic. Let's write thus. Okay, that is the Option. Das ist die Option A. Super. Dash, wer glaubt, dass sich anzuschnallen sei bedingt, irrt sich. So who thinks that to fasten yourself is like bedingt, like not compulsory, mistakes himself. So who thinks what? Basically, we are elaborating, so it's thus. Who thinks that to fasten yourself with the seat belt is something which you could decide, it's not compulsory, mistakes himself. Okay, wir denken, dass sie das nur so sagen, uns zu erschrecken. We think that you are saying that in order to just make us afraid, yes, to terrify us. So we are denken. What are we thinking? It's an elaboration. So we'll say thus. So it's conjunction. Dass sie das sagen. Now, whatever they are saying, you're referring to that. So it's a reference word. Thus. Genau. So it's a mixture of, first we said thus, that is A, and then we said basically thus, which is B. And this one was remaining, it was A. Okay, fantastic. So this was our exercise in which we learned thus is a conjunction which we use to elaborate what we are saying by using another sentence with another verb. Yes, but thus, on the other hand, DAS simply means, like in English, that. It could also mean the article thus, It could also mean a relative pronoun like we sometimes used here. Yes. Or it could be a definitive pronoun where you kind of emphasize something. Super. So thanks for joining in. This was a little exercise between das oder das. So we meet us next. Und nächstes Mal, ich denke, machen wir noch was Interessantes. Zwar noch 2 neue Konstruktionen, das sind als, wenn oder wann. So bis dann. Tschüss.